Dragon Ball first debuted as a manga written by Akira Toriyama back in 1984. Because of its massive popularity, it was quickly adapted into an anime by Toei Animation and first aired in Japan in 1986. This is where we first met Son Goku, the boy who would become one of the most iconic characters in all of anime. And today, we're starting a full recap of the Dragon Ball anime, beginning from the very start, so we can follow the entire journey together. This is where our video begins. In the very first episode, the story begins deep in the mountains where a wild young boy named Son Goku lives alone. He has a monkey-like tail, incredible strength, and absolutely no idea how normal people live. He was raised by Grandpa Gohan, who taught him how to fight and left him a strange orange ball before he died. Goku treasures that ball as if it were Grandpa Gohan himself. One day, after fishing with his tail and kicking a giant fish to death, Goku gets hit by a car. He had never seen a car before, so he thought it was a monster, which is why he lifted it up and even tried to eat it. Inside the car was Bulma, a rich teenage girl who loves technology, has very little patience, and carries a gun. She shot Goku in the face, but of course he survived because he's extremely tough. Bulma explains that she's searching for the Dragon Balls, 7 mysterious orbs that, when gathered together, can grant any wish. She already has 2, and one of them happens to be Goku's. Bulma wants to take it, but Goku refuses because it came from Grandpa Gohan, and he doesn't let go of things that have sentimental value. However, Goku agrees to travel with Bulma to look for the remaining Dragon Balls. Bulma brings gadgets and a radar that detects the Dragon Balls, while Goku is just relaxed and along for the adventure. Bulma then uses a capsule that transforms into a motorcycle, which makes Goku think she's a witch. But before they can find another Dragon Ball, a pterodactyl suddenly appears and snatches Bulma away. Goku gets tied up, but he escapes, jumps off a cliff, and calls out for his power pole, a magical staff that can extend on command. In midair, he strikes the monster with one powerful hit and saves Bulma. She's so terrified by the whole situation that she nearly pees herself. This is where their adventure truly begins. Goku and Bulma set up camp near Skull Valley. But Bulma isn't the type who enjoys simple camping. She pulls out a capsule that instantly transforms into a full-sized house. Naturally, Goku thinks it's some kind of monster again. He also gets confused by modern things like TVs and lights. The night gets even stranger when Bulma notices how bad Goku smells, so she forces him to take a bath. That's when she realizes that Goku's tail is actually a real part of his body, not a costume or anything fake. Afterward, Bulma just wants to relax, so she takes a bath in the tub. But Goku suddenly walks in like it's no big deal and even asks why she doesn't have a tail. Bulma panics, screaming in embarrassment and frustration. Meanwhile, Emperor Pilaf, a short but ambitious villain who wants to rule the world, sends his minions Shu and Mai to Skull Valley. Their radar picked up what looked like another Dragon Ball. But when they got there, they discovered it was just a pair of glowing wolf eyes. Goku, thinking their plane was a giant bird, attacks it and knocks it down. However, he immediately rescues Shu and Mai after defeating the wolves that attacked them. When he returns to the campsite, Bulma is horrified to see that Goku brought back a wolf pelt and a giant centipede, and he actually plans to eat them. The next morning, Goku meets a talking turtle and volunteers to help bring it back to the sea, which is still 100 miles away. Bulma is annoyed but has no choice but to follow. And from there, their long journey truly begins. In episode 3, Goku, Bulma, and Turtle are running along when they suddenly run into a talking bear thief who even wants to eat them. But Goku doesn't care at all. He throws one clean punch, and the bear instantly goes down in what becomes Goku's first real fight. It only lasts a few seconds. After that, they finally reach the beach and Turtle swims back into the ocean. When he returns, he brings along his master, Master Roshi, a slightly weird old man known as the Turtle Hermit. As a reward, Roshi gives Goku the Flying Nimbus, a magical cloud that only those with a pure heart can ride. Roshi tries it himself, but fails miserably, while Goku hops on with no problem at all. Meanwhile, Bulma notices that Roshi has a Dragon Ball hanging around his neck, and she wants to get it. Roshi agrees, but only if Bulma shows him her underwear first. Yep, anime back then was really something. What makes it even funnier is that Bulma actually flashes him without realizing she's not wearing any underwear at all. Roshi gives them the Dragon Ball with a nosebleed, and Pilaf group even shows up, but they're too late. Goku and Bulma leave, and only then does Bulma realize what she accidentally showed Roshi. And of course, she is not happy. In episode 4, the group is back on the road. Bulma rides her bike but slips, dropping one of her Dragon Balls. Goku follows her to check if she's okay, and they find a nearby village, Aru Village, but it's creepily silent, like no one lives there. It turns out the villagers are hiding because of a shape-shifting troublemaker named Oolong, who has been kidnapping the village's young women. Goku volunteers to act as bait, disguising himself as Oolong's next target, Pokawatha. Oolong appears in a demon form but quickly transforms into a handsome guy, impressing even Bulma. However, when he sees Pokawatha standing up to pee, he immediately realizes something's wrong. He falls for the trap. Oolong transforms into a giant bull, then a ninja, but still fails. Goku chases him using the flying Nimbus. Oolong tries to escape by turning into a rocket, but his time limit runs out mid-air, causing him to crash straight down. By the end of the episode, we learn Oolong didn't harm any of the kidnapped girls. They were simply living spoiled lives in his mansion. The villagers relax, and Bulma finds her fourth Dragon Ball. In episode 5, Bulma, Goku, and their new companion Oolong are sailing down a river. While they're talking, Bulma mentions that they're heading to a place called Fire Mountain. The moment Oolong hears this, he bails. He transforms into a fish and tries to escape. Goku attempts to catch him, but Bulma uses her underwear to lure him back and forces him to stay using something called a poop trigger pill. Yeah, it's pretty weird. When the boat runs out of fuel, Bulma forces Oolong to become a paddle so they can keep moving. Once they reach the shore, she notices her capsules are missing and immediately blames Oolong. He tries to run away again, but Bulma says the poop trigger word, piggy, which forces Oolong to sprint off looking for a bathroom. As they walk through the scorching, exhausting desert, Bulma gets irritated and passes out. That's when they're ambushed by Yamcha, a desert bandit, and his shape-shifting partner Puar Goku and Yamcha fight. But once Yamcha sees Bulma, he panics and runs away. Turns out the tough desert bandit is actually terrified of girls. Funny and kind of relatable, right? In episode 6, the group spends the night inside a motorhome. While everyone is asleep, Oolong attempts to steal the Dragon Balls and even some of Bulma's clothes. He even gives Goku a sleeping drink to avoid interference. Meanwhile, Yamcha and Puar lurk around, planning to steal the Dragon Balls as well. When Yamcha accidentally sees Bulma, he comes up with a new plan. He'll use the Dragon Balls to wish away his fear of women. Chaos erupts. Oolong, Puar, and Yamcha all try to steal the Dragon Balls at the same time. There's confusion, shape-shifting, and several awkward moments. The next morning, the motorhome explodes because Pilaf's henchmen planted a bomb under it. With no vehicle left, Goku, Bulma, and Oolong are forced to walk to their next destination. Yamcha appears, apologizes, and offers them a car, but he still plans to steal the Dragon Balls once he gets the chance. In episode 7, Goku, Bulma, and Oolong head to Fire Mountain, said to be the home of a giant known as the Ox King. When they arrive, the rumors are true. It's a massive mountain engulfed in flames. Meanwhile, Yamcha and Puar continue following them and bump into a young girl named Chi-Chi, who can kill an entire dinosaur with a beam from her helmet. That's how strong she is. Goku meets the Ox King and they briefly fight. But Goku quickly discovers that the Ox King was friends with Grandpa Gohan, and both trained under Master Roshi. Because of this connection, the Ox King trusts Goku and asks him to find Roshi and borrow the Bancho fan, a magical fan that can extinguish the flames of Fire Mountain. He even offers a bonus. If Goku succeeds, Chi-Chi can marry him. Goku accepts the challenge, and Chi-Chi joins him on this quest, and things only get stranger from here on out. In episode 8, Goku and Chi-Chi arrive at Kame House to meet Master Roshi, who proves his identity by flexing his weird Hermit Club ID. Goku asks about the Bancho fan, but Roshi says he'll help only if Goku sets him up on a date with Bulma. Eventually, Roshi remembers he threw the fan away, so he decides to go with Goku to personally extinguish the fire. He transforms into his buff form and unleashes the legendary Kamehameha, which literally blows up the entire mountain and the castle on top of it. But it works, the fire is gone. Goku, amazed, copies the move on his first try and accidentally blows up a car. During all this, Bulma avoids Roshi's date request by sending Oolong disguised as her classic Bulma. In the end, Goku and Chi-Chi share an awkward marriage promise moment before going their separate ways. In episode 9, not much happens in this episode aside from Goku and Bulma being ambushed by the rabbit mob, but Yamcha and Puar quickly show up to save them. In episode 10, Bulma admits that all the danger they've been through was because she wanted to use the Dragon Balls to wish for a boyfriend, which completely exhausts Oolong. Meanwhile, Emperor Pilaf tries to fix his own Dragon Radar so he can find the Dragon Balls before Goku does. While crossing the desert, Goku and the group are ambushed by Pilaf's henchmen, Mai and Shu. They blow up the vehicle and steal the Dragon Balls. Goku fails to catch them, but luckily he still has one Dragon Ball left. Yamcha arrives to help, and they all head to Pilaf's castle. But once they arrive, Pilaf traps them inside and subjects them to all kinds of ridiculous death traps. Goku gets distracted. Bulma almost dies. Yamcha saves her, and in the end, they all get locked inside a sealed room with no exit. In episode 11 picks up with Goku and the gang still trapped inside Pilaf's castle. They try punching through the walls while Emperor Pilaf celebrates having 6 Dragon Balls, unaware that Goku is still holding the last one. Emperor Pilaf eyes on them through a camera, and after Bulma insults him, he grabs her with a robotic claw and threatens her with the treatment, which ends up being nothing more than a lame kiss. Pilaf then fills the room with sleeping gas, but he's the one who ends up passing out first. Meanwhile, Mai and Shu discover the missing Dragon Ball in Goku's pocket. Pilaf finally completes all 7 Dragon Balls and rushes outside to summon Shenron, forgetting to lock the door behind him. Thanks to that mistake, the group escapes, only to fall straight into a giant pinball trap. Goku uses his Kamehameha to blast a hole, sending Oolong and Puar flying outside, just in time to see Shenron beginning to appear. In episode 12 starts with Shenron fully summoned. Pilaf is shaking with excitement, ready to wish for world domination, until Goku blasts the wall open with another Kamehameha. In that moment of chaos, Oolong beats Pilaf to the punch and wishes for a pair of comfortable underwear. Yep, that actually happens. Shenron disappears, the Dragon Balls scatter, and Goku becomes sad because the 4-star Dragon Ball, his only memory of Grandpa Gohan, is gone. Goku then reveals how his grandfather died. One night during a full moon, a terrifying monster appeared and crushed Grandpa Gohan to death. As they mourn, Pilaf orders Shu and Mai to eliminate them. Goku and Yamcha fight off Pilaf's guards, but Goku is exhausted and they're all captured again. While locked inside a steel prison, something strange happens. Goku looks at the full moon and transforms into a giant ape-like monster. He breaks out of the cell and causes massive destruction. It's revealed that Goku was the very monster who killed his own grandfather without ever knowing it. In episode 13 shows giant ape Goku rampaging around Pilaf's castle. Pilaf, Shu, and Mai try ridiculous tactics like clapping pillows at him, but nothing works. They escape in a plane and fire a missile at Goku, knocking him down briefly. When he wakes up, he licks Bulma and almost eats her. Before he can, Yamcha, Oolong, and Puar team up, cut off Goku's tail, and he returns to normal. The castle collapses and Pilaf cries over his destroyed mansion. The next morning, Goku wakes up with no memory of what happened. Yamcha and Bulma also realize they're both single, look at each other, and decide to officially become a couple. Afterward, everyone goes their separate ways. Goku hops on the flying Nimbus and heads to Master Roshi's place, ready to begin new training and a brand new adventure.